proud of us that like this is how we're learning together a year into this terrible time. Like, just really, I don't know. So thank you so much for that, like offering that chance to read and connect like that. It's so important. It's so important. How many? Yay! That's so good. All of the discords.
I shared it with the discords and I clarified the last reading each other. We're just going to read the
Yeah, seriously. Also, I feel like calling it Discord really sets it up to be hard.
Is that this week or? Oh, it's not that much. Is that for that's the old one. The new one's coming out. Right here. Two, but really 12. Or you do nothing. 3? I'm almost done. Jim has the
It's so cold. Good. Good Shabbos. Before we get started, this is actually the first thing we get to do together as we get started. I'm going to invite us, please, to move closer. Specifically, this is a big request, but we won't get started until it happens.
threats.
Please fill in the inner circle. Please come in. This is a chance for us to sing together. And the reason why I ask this is not just to make you feel nervous by sitting so close to the rabbis up front, but because it's a chance for us to really be able to come into Shabbat, not just hearing each other, not just feeling close to people we know and don't know, but it's actually a chance to remind our bodies, like we're here in this together. It's not a brain thing. It's actually just this sense feeling of, I feel your shoulders settling down. I noticed you take that big breath, and maybe that reminds me to take a breath. It's a way that we attend to each other without paying close attention. We're just in it together. Now, one person moved, folks. We still have 3 beautiful seats. And this is called direct action. You're performing a direct action because you are on strike. I'm performing a direct action because I say, please, I really want to sing with you. Brave human beings. And now everyone else can beam love and gratitude towards human beings who are moving towards the front, because that means you don't have to move. The hero of the night, All right, it's a negotiation. Direct actions, it's all about compromise and connection. So with one brave human being coming close, we can begin Shabbat. But whoa, that got very loud. My ask for you tonight is that as people are coming in, especially if it's someone who you don't know yet, to do exactly what Riv is doing, which is to say, you can beckon them closer, say, come in, come be. I would like to meet you. Because part of how we extend hospitality to one another is not waiting to be hospitable to the people that we already know and like. Part of the way we get to be hospitable is by opening ourselves up to saying, hi, I don't know you yet, and I can't wait to find out what you're about. I can't wait to find out how I can be in there with you, whatever it is, wherever it is that there is. So there, enough words. There will be no more words tonight, just singing. Just kidding, there will be some words left.
Tearing up my sermon.
Good Shabbos, welcome to Shir Tikva. The unexpected preamble. Let's turn together, please, to page 332. And let's, as we're turning, if you want to take that first deep breath of Shabbat. ידיד נפש ורחמן משוכב דך אל רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה אל מול הדרך ירב לו ידידותך מנופת צופך עולתך Good Shabbos. So it's a joy to be able to invite up. We have a number of different kinds of smachot tonight, but to help us light candles, I'm going to invite people who joined as members of Shir Tikva in the last month. We are starting to have new members Shabbat more regularly, which means we actually get to say hello to you more frequently. So if you joined Shir Tikva in the last month, and I know I'm sitting with some of them, so you can't get out of it. Come on down, beloveds. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we welcome you by inviting you, please, to use the magic Shabbat wand. This.
You can find the bracha on page 2.
Kestrel, would you like to? This is very exciting. So you just, the wick is here. So you take a light, the light, and you'll slide it down. Now it's perfect. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner להדליק נר של Shabbat. Beloveds, new joiners to Shir Tikva, welcome to community. Beloveds out in the community, say welcome. And just as you choose Shir Tikva, I hope that you feel chosen in community, that your gifts are so welcome, that in the moments where you're like, oosh, I could use some resource, I could use some strength, that you turn to this group of people, which is a microcosm of the big group of people, and know that you can receive. And in the moments where you're like, I'm showing up with strength and with grounding, that you know that there are people here who are so ready to be able to be in it with you and to be able to receive and build in that power and strength. So thank you so much for choosing each other in a time like this is basically the biggest gift we can give each other. So welcome. At last, can't wait to see who we become together. Mazal tov. Yay. I'm now going to invite up, very, very exciting. We get to welcome a new kind of new member. We're welcoming Ezra, who is just turning a month old, up onto the bima with his parents and family. We get to welcome Ezra into community. Ezra was sleeping and now is not sleeping. So Ezra is going to be sweet one. Sometimes community asks a lot of you. We're just so happy to get to see you here. Welcome, Emma and Graham. Mazal tov. Hi, everybody. Yay. Sweetest human. So Graham, I'm going to give you one. You'll anchor this script. I'll anchor the other one. Baruch haba. Blessed are you and welcome, tiny, beautiful, sweet human being, Ezra. Welcome to Shir Tikva. In every generation, we reconnect and revitalize our relationship with the sacred and with our people, and we find our own unique way of being part of our culture and community. Osh, sweetest. We don't even need words. We're just going to look at you for a minute. So I'm going to invite Emma and Graham and your family to offer blessings. Okay, so Emma, we're going to start with you.
It means so much to Graham and I that we can welcome Ezra into the Jewish community today. Ezra, we are so grateful to be your parents and can't wait to learn and grow with and from you.
You're so blessed to be surrounded by people who love and care about you, and we're excited for you to grow up in the Shir Tikva community.
We offer our blessings.
May Jewish community and tradition be a source of guidance and direction for you, Ezra. May it provide you with morals and values, and through it may you find your own particular and authentic relationship with God and spirituality.
May the Jewish community provide you with a safe space in which to explore your world. May the teachings of the Jewish tradition imbue in you kindness, respect for all creation, and a connection to family and history.
We bless you with unconditional love.
May you always know that your family cherishes you and values you, not only for your achievements, but because you are a unique and beautiful human whose life we are privileged to share.
We give you the gift of independence. Let our love and care for you always be healthy and positive, never stifling or possessive. May we always try to respect and appreciate your uniqueness and teach you to respect this in others.
We give you the gift of curiosity. We want to share our love of learning with Ezra and help you to appreciate the complicated and magical world into which you have come. We also know you will know injustice and bless you with the courage and wisdom to take part in restoring a broken world to wholeness.
It is said that there are 3 names by which a person is called: the one they are given at birth, the one in which people call them, and the one they earn for themselves. The Hebrew name that you receive today marks the beginning of your life's journey. May this name be the one that serves you well, that connects you to your family and to your culture, and that allows you to discover the name that you will earn for yourself.
May Ezra's family and community find so much joy in him, and may his life bring blessings to his family and his friends and to our people and to our world. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu kayem et hayeled hazeh lehorav v'yikra shemo v'Yisrael Ezra, which you already knew, but it's so beautiful we wanted to say it again. So may our God and God of our ancestors sustain this child for his family. Let him be called in Israel Ezra, and may this little one, Ezra, bring transformation into this world. As Ezra enters into the covenant with the sacred, with his people, with the world that has been and the world that is to come, so may he enter into a life of learning and loving relationships and good deeds. Kishem shenichnas lebrit, ken yikanes letorah, ulechupa, ulemasim tovim. So let us all say together, welcome, Ezra. I'm going to invite you two beautiful parents to please say this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahaknisa bivrit shel Avraham v'Sarah.
I'm going to invite your family to get close because grab the microphone for our friends on Zoom. This experience of getting to be surrounded by many generations is a very precious thing, sweet Ezra, who is self-soothing already, just demonstrating his abundant wisdom. So I'm going to invite us just to hold out our hands as this Ezra's family, and if you'd want to just, we're all going to offer our wishes, knowing that in this moment, Ezra is a tiny piece of what has been missing in our world. Hi, baby. And so we're just going to hold out our hands and beam our love and beam our belief into this tiny human who is becoming. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May you be protected, may you be blessed, and may you know and bring wholeness and peace. Let us say together, Amen. And we'll sing the most gentle and loving Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Simin Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simin Tov, Yeilanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael, Yeilanu, Yeilanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Mazal Tov. And you who have have given so much to this community. May you receive and may you be held in this enormous transition to your life as a family in this stage. Just so much love to you. And I know Rabbi Joey is ready with one more blessing.
In the wings.
In the wings.
Emma, I have the bracha of offering you another bracha on the time around your 30th birthday. I have the tradition of often giving people blessings that are Hebrew words whose letters add up to the number of their birthday. I cheated a little bit today, and I'm giving you 31 for an extra year to come. In the model of this abundance, I want to bless you with one word that has three meanings: Aleph Lamed, all or El. This little word can mean do not do X. It can mean going towards Y. Or finally, it can mean God. Emma, I want to bless you with a year, with a decade of wise not doing, of owning your wisdom of when and how to say no, of building the boundaries that can protect you, new and holy life. I want to bless you with the discernment to go fiercely towards love, light, and wisdom, towards the teachers and students and humans who most need your help and love. And finally, Emma, I want to bless you with El, with a God who exists to nourish the sacred work and the vital love calling to you in this world. And just to add one more dose of blessing, we'll yell out together quietly on the count of three. Mazal Tov. 1, 2, 3. Mazal Tov. So many brachot to the entire family. Thank you all so much.
So filled up with so many blessings, let's turn together to page 12 as we sing these first words of Psalm 95. Lechu neranena We'll turn to to the next page, page 13. We'll find the words we're going to sing. The bottom of the first paragraph, the bottom 2 lines, Hod v'Hadar. Hod v'Hadar. That there's about 30 people last week who got to sing this, but other than those 30 people, probably no one in this room has ever heard this melody before, which means it's a really amazing opportunity to sing it really loud because the person next to you doesn't know it either. So we're going to learn it together. So this is a moment of pouring out as opposed to holding back. Hod v'Hadar lefanav. Hod v'Hadar lefanav. Oz v'Tiferet. turn together to page 16.
5 lines down on the page.
Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo,
Yiram hayam umelo.
Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo,
Yiram hayam umelo.
Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo, Deharodim chau chaf yadanai yadanai, Yachadarim yiraneinu, Deharodim chau chaf yadanai yadanai, Yachadarim yiraneinu, Yiram hayam umelo,
Yiram hayam umelo.
Yiram hayam umelo,
Yiram hayam umelo.
Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo, Deharodim chau chaf yadanai yadanai, Yachadarim yiraneinu, 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 Deharodim chau chaf Yachadarim yiraneinu, Deharodim chau chaf Yachadarim yiraneinu, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo, Deharodim chau chaf Yachadarim yiraneinu, 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 Deharodim chau chaf Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam umelo, Tevel veyoshveva, Yiram hayam umelo. We'll turn in our colorful sheets to Ana Bechoach, releasing from in the entanglements of the week, passing and opening into Shabbat. Ana Bechoach gedulat yamincha, tatzir tzerura, tatzir tzerura, kabel rinat, rinat amta, salveinu, tahareinu, nora, Anna We'll turn together to page 20 for the Chadodi. And when we reach the 9th verse, anyone who wants to is welcome to join outside, to rush outside and welcome Shabbat. It's cold. Welcome Shabbat in from the cold. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila lecha
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As our friends make their way back into our sanctuary, we will slowly make our way grounded or on our feet onto page 28 to begin our evening song service. Ya da da ya 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 yo. Ya da da ya 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 yo. We turn to page 30 as we give thanks and bless a God that brings darkness, that brings winter, that brings shivering and coziness, that brings the snowfall, that brings the dark ice, that brings us a little closer together. Taking a big breath in and out.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אלה חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
We turn to page 32 and bless a God who brings love into the world. I invite you to bring into your mind the image of someone that you love, feeling the warmth in your heart, feeling the care received and given, taking a big breath in and out.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
We turn to page 34. Feel free to rise or root if it's your tradition. Shema,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto.
You may be seated. ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn to page 40.
Yalai, yalai, yalalai, yalalalai, yalai, yalai, yalalai, כמוך We turn now to page 42. And I'm just, over these last 14 months, I have experienced 15 months, 14 months, what is time? I have experienced this sense of sort of growing dread and anxiety every time we come to Hashkivenu, which is, I think, actually not what you're supposed to feel when you're praying for peace and protection. And the dread and anxiety I feel, great, it's rabbi therapy time. Like the dread and anxiety I feel is the impossibility of expressing in words the incredible outrage and grief, the enormity of destruction, the impossibility of healing, and the necessity for justice for Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, for all those who are living in the 1948 borders of Israel, like the necessity for change. And it makes me kind of hate words. And so tonight I have a proposal. Because actually, Hashkivenu, according to Talmud, is about destroyers that we meet in the nighttime, like demons. And it's not a Shabbat prayer, it's an every night prayer, and it's about the demons. I would like to return Hashkivenu to our every night prayers about demons, and I would like to turn our prayers for justice and peace to every single prayer, rather than needing to aggregate all of our despair and all of our need and all of our determination into a single prayer, because that is impossible, especially when it's supposed to be about peace and protection. So let us please take our kavanah, our breaking and broken hearts, and pour it out over the riverbanks of Hashkivenu. Let Hashkivenu return to the every single, which is not to say we're not also praying for peace and protection during Hashkivenu, but like, let us please pour ourselves into every single prayer, whether or not the content matches our intention, because that is the power of kavanah. So let's not miss it. Every single prayer, with the depth and conviction, the vision and the chutzpah. And so how do we come to Hashkivenu tonight? My loves, how do we come to Hashkivenu tonight? Amnesty International this week said that there's a genocide happening in Gaza, and the Jewish world is pushing really hard against that language. We should not be paying attention to language. We should be paying attention to what's happening in Gaza. We should not be ripping apart our communities over language. We should be paying attention to what is happening to each other's bodies. And I am afraid for our people, which is to say people, that we keep missing it. And I have been missing it. But in these circles and in this practice, my loves, I need us to be brave enough to say words we're afraid of, because it's prayer. And I need us to be brave enough to help each other face what's happening in our country and in this world. Please, please, please. And so when we pray, can we please be gentle? And can we please be fierce? As we pray towards a world that we dream of. We're going to sing together on page 42, 3 lines down.
rise or root on page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll stay raised or rooted on page 46 as we sing our way into quiet prayer.
Adonai, Yoshvei Tevel, V'Imru, Imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'Imru, Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'Imru, Oseh Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'Imru, Amen. We'll take time now to pray for healing of body and spirit. We'll sing, but before we sing, I'm going to invite you please to share names aloud for people that you're praying for, yourself and others. And I'm going to invite us to share their names at this time. And if you're at home, please say their names aloud and share their names in the chat. Tonight we're praying for We sing you healing. We sing you care. We sing you justice. We sing you prayer. We sing you healing. We sing you care. We sing you justice. We sing you prayer.
Good Shabbos. I have this clear memory of being a 5-year-old. I was sitting in a shul like this in the middle of a 3-hour-long service of singing in Hebrew. And I remember looking around and thinking to myself, wait, why are we doing this? Up to that point, I had always assumed that everyone else understood Hebrew, just not me. And that year, I had learned that almost no one in that room understood a word of what we were saying in our prayers. As a 5-year-old, and today, this struck me as very weird. And I'm left wondering then and now, what's so special about Hebrew that it calls us back into this practice, that non-Hebrew speaking Jewish communities for the past 1,500 years have maintained a commitment to prayer in this language. I learned a midrash this past week that suggests the beginning of an answer to this question, a midrash that traces the origin and history of Hebrew and how it found its way to become a core language of our tradition. What I want to share tonight is that story, the story of the language, and I think a story of how Jews have taught each other from generation to generation to find healing on the far end of trauma. Okay, our story begins on a mountaintop. Isaac opens his eyes. He expected to be dead by now, killed by his father as a sacrifice to God, but instead, Isaac lives. An angel has brought a ram for Abraham to sacrifice in Isaac's place. Isaac breathes the first breath of his new life, a life of profound relief and of devastating knowledge that his father was one moment away from killing him. And then there's a pause in Isaac's story. And the next time we see him, Isaac is witnessing, is seeing his wife for the first time. He's falling in love with her, and they are starting their lives together. There's something startling here. In Isaac's timeline, we go straight from the trauma of the near sacrifice to literally the meet cute. Okay, let's hold on to that jumpiness for one moment and fast forward a few decades in the story to Isaac's son, Jacob. Jacob has just stolen a blessing from his twin brother, has run into the wilderness, running from his sibling and deeply messed up upbringing, running from his own acts of deceit. 14 years pass. 14 years that are totally silent in the Torah about Jacob's life. And when we next zoom in on our hero, Jacob is treated to an epic vision of God. Jacob falls in love and works for years to marry his wives. Similar to Isaac's life, Jacob's story presents a glaring gap. What happened in those 14 years? What prepared Jacob to move out of his traumatic upbringing into his adult life? In the Talmud in Megillah, the rabbis suggest one answer. It's very simple. Isaac and Jacob spent their early adulthood in retreat studying in the Beit Midrash, in the study hall of Ever. My first reaction upon learning this midrash earlier this week was, huh? Specifically, who the heck is Eber? And what did Isaac and Jacob learn in his Beit Midrash, in his study hall? To answer these questions, we need to go even further back into our past, into the moment that humanity was created. When God made Eve and Adam, God gave them language. The first language, which the Midrash boldly claims, was Hebrew. This language was passed from Eve and Adam to Cain all the way down to Noah. And Noah and his family survived the flood, telling each other long Hebrew stories on the ark. And when the water subsided, Noah's family walked out of the flood speaking Hebrew, including Noah's grandson, Ever. And as humans rebuilt the world, Ever watched as his neighbors used their shared language, the one language of all of humanity, Hebrew, to build a big tower all the way to heaven. Ever watched as his peers' project was rejected as God knocked down the Tower of Babel, as God wiped away the primordial single language of humanity, the language of Hebrew, from his neighbors' minds and lips, and replaced that one language with a multitude of languages spread across the world. God did this in order to prevent all of these humans from again working together to overtake heaven. Ever had never, that's a rhymey, Ever had never participated in the building of the Tower of Babel, and so God rewarded Ever with some strange gifts. God allowed Ever to hold on to Hebrew even as his neighbors lost the language, and God gave him an unusually long life. And so Ever was left alone in the world, speaking a holy language that no one else knew, blessed and cursed with a closeness to God and an isolation from his neighbors. What did Ever do with this isolation? According to the Midrash, he created a study hall, a sacred place of learning and grounding. And when Torah characters fall on hard times, when Torah characters move through something particularly hard or painful, when they need a place to lie low and heal, they find their way to their great Uncle Ever's Beit Midrash. And what do they do there? Isaac and Jacob, according to the Midrash, they studied from Ever. They studied Hebrew from the person trusted by God to hold on to this language. And when Isaac and Jacob had seeped long enough in this learning, they were able to return to their lives better equipped to face and embrace their loves, their God, and the adversity that came next. Okay, I want to acknowledge that was a lot. In review, our Midrash suggests that Isaac and Jacob took sabbaticals with an ancestor who survived the flood and the Tower of Babel, who lived on to teach the patriarchs Hebrew. And while this answers some of our questions, we're left wondering, what is it about Ever, what is it about Hebrew, the language and the language teacher, that provides the necessary respite and healing for Isaac and Jacob? I think an answer to this question lies in the shared etymology of Eder and Ivrit, Hebrew. The root at the center of both the name and the language is Ein Bet Resh, avar, to cross over. What's the nature of this crossing over? Crossing from where to where? Ever's story suggests that at the base of our history, our peoplehood, and language is an old and tired teacher who has witnessed and survived the biggest traumas of human history, who crossed through these hardships in order to create a safe place for young people. Hebrew, this lineage suggests, survived as a language of sanctuary for those who needed respite from sorrow. The study of it was healing. For those who had survived and healed, it was a linguistic hug extended to the tired and to the hurt. All of this brings me back to my initial question. Why do we sing in Hebrew? What might those of us who have not studied the language, or who, like me, have spent years studying but failed to gain fluency, bring to the language of our liturgy that we do not ourselves understand? On top of, or perhaps beyond the meaning of any given word or prayer, we are singing in the language of Ever. We are singing in Hebrew, a language that at its base and best encourages us to seek out and provide refuge. As our tongues stumble over an ein or a chet, we might be saying to each other, I am struggling, can you help me? Can you take me in? As we scream out our hard-won mastery of the words of Ana Bakoach or Lechadodi, we might be saying to each other, I see that you're tired and wrecked. Come sit down. Let's learn together. Tonight, I am feeling the impending rains of new floods building. I sense us humans building towers that will fall. I fear the advances of fascism and the violence threatening trans and disabled folks, immigrants, and so many others in our society. As Rabbi Ariel was saying earlier, our words and prayers, they are not enough. But maybe there is something in the exercise of singing out in the language of sanctuary and grounding in a 1,000-year-old tradition of care, of committing ourselves to erecting study halls of respite and holy places in which we can hold each other close. Shabbat Shalom. And we get to immediately exercise that work. We get to sing in Hebrew again. You can find the words of our communal blessing on the back of your colorful sheets, number 3. Amalach hagoel oti, Amalach hagoel oti mikora, Yivarech et ne'arim v'yikra v'hem shemi v'shem avotai v'shem avotai Avraham v'yitzchak v'yigdu la'rov b'kerev ha'aretz. Yismechem Elohim kesara kerivka kerachel uchelea ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May we find each other in the study hall of respite. May the words take us to places beyond words, back to heart. May we study how to offer refuge in preparation for any coming floods. May our hearts find compassion and connection that overcome the barriers sometimes presented by language. May we come together in our language of prayer when we struggle to understand each other in English. May we have the capability to study when invited in for respite. And if incapable, may we still find rest and peace together. May we learn to really rest emotionally. May we allow ourselves needed respite so we can continue the work. As these harsh winds blow, may we commit to study that extends our refuge to ourselves and others. Ken yehi ratzon. Yadadai, yadai, yadai, yadadai, We'll begin to put a seal on our service, rooting and rising on page 284. Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim V'hashevota Elevavecha Ki Shechinah Hi Elohim V'nehem Haya Adonai V'melech al kol ha'aret V'yom ha'hu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo Folks can be seated. We've continued the practice over the last 14 months now of singing the words of Oseh Shalom in place of all the names that we don't know, all the names that we can't say, of everyone that died on October 7th and everyone that's died in the terrible violence that's followed in Israel, Palestine, in Gaza, and Lebanon, all over the Middle East. I find myself beyond language, particularly as the civil war in Syria continues to rage itself, without names, without the language to say anything else. I take some solace in the practice of being able to call out together the words of Oseh Shalom, and with the knowledge that these words aren't enough, with continued renewal of commitment to fight for peace, to fight for ceasefire. You can find the words of Oseh Shalom on page 62. Oseh Shalom bimroma, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel. In a moment, we'll say the words of Mourner's Kaddish, which you can find on page 294. I'll be reading a list of names of people in our community that have died in this time in past years. If you hear the name of someone that you knew and loved, please feel free to raise your hand, and Rabbi Ariel will find you with a microphone. When I'm done reading the names that we know here, I invite you also to raise your hand and offer a name, and if you'd like, just a brief story of a sentence or two about any loved ones that you're remembering at this time of year. We're in the yard site, the memorial of the death of Libby Bollock, Bert Donofsky's sister, Stephen Berkowitz, Shay Berkowitz's brother, Ethel Birnbaum, Ellen Worson's grandmother, Eva Chernoff Buschenbaum, Barbara Eagley's grandmother, Betty Eisenstadt, Thomas Eisenstadt's mother, Stella Getson, Billy Wolfstrom's cousin, Susan Haslow Sojourner, Aaron Sojourner's mother, Felix Hirschberg, Sarah Greenfield's great-grandfather, Jim Hyman, beloved member of Shir Tikva and husband of Tema Shankman, Herman Jaffe, Sharon's father.
This is actually a triple yard site for me. It's my father, Herman, his father, Aaron, and a colleague, Kohenet, Yosefa Rafaela. And what occurs to me to say here is that my dad and my Zadie lived through leaving Kiev, coming here, the 30s, the 50s. They were very impacted by the McCarthy era, and they survived it. And my dad would be very proud of what Shir Tikva is. And they would also want me to tell you about a very short dream of the woman that they both adored, my grandma, my bubby. And she was very apolitical, unlike them. And she said, you know, you all worry so much that anti-Zionists are anti-Semitic. You should really worry more and be active that Zionists are racists.
Warren E. Joseph, Sean Maher's uncle, Margaret Kellen, Robert Kellen's grandmother, Herbert Kurzer, Mindy Kurzer's father and grandfather of Anna and Della Kurzer-Zlotnick. Jerry Auschwitz, Ori Wasserberg's grandfather. Evaristo Soto Ruda, Roman Soto's father. Leonard Schlipp, Sarah Schlipp-Rydell's father. Samuel Schwartz, Edon's grandfather. Ida Mae Scott, Lisa Mayer's grandmother. David Shafit, Noah Katrina Levy's grandfather. David Shavit, Basil A. Levy's grandfather. Robert Solomon Tenon, Denise Tenon's brother. Fritz Vogel, Larry Wolf's grandfather. Louis Weinblatt, Gloria's father-in-law, and Jack Weiss, Faith's father. Are there any other names that folks would like to bring forward today?
Remembering my grandfather, mi abuelo Sonny Setune. He passed this last Sunday, 93 years old. A very long and beautiful life he lived. His Hebrew name Sasson means joy, and he really embodied just able to enjoy even the simple things. He was always able to just say yes and be just so present and enjoy. So I'm carrying him with me.
This is the second yahrzeit of my best friend and my girlfriend from high school, Zoe Massey. She died in her sleep. She had undiagnosed epilepsy and had a seizure. She was an amazing person, I gotta say. What a very great, wise beyond her years person. Did not get the recognition that she deserved and was put with the world on her shoulders. She was the first Ashkenazi person that I'd ever met and the first leftist person that I ever met. And if it wasn't for her, I would be a completely different person.
We'll rise or root on page 294 as we say Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkada v'kadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute be'chai echon uvyom echon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala ubizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitdromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekucha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen.
Amen. You may be seated. We're going to invite Jim Norden to offer some announcements. And as Jim is coming up, I'm just going to invite us to sort of reflect on this journey we've been on together, this musical and journey into Shabbat that began with welcoming new members and welcoming a baby. And just feeling this, like the expansiveness of all of the things we can feel and think, the ways we can connect and fall apart and connect and fall apart, and just feeling incredibly grateful for Rabbi Joey's. This is the second week in a row we drushed the Beit Midrash of Shem and Ever, which is kind of, which is awesome because 2 weeks in a row our ancestors in Torah visited the Beit Midrash, and you lifted up totally different pieces. But I guess I just want to say, I think that this intuitive connection, Rabbi Joey was not here last week, this intuitive connection of like knowing we need to go into the study house, I think is exactly the thing. So let us continue to ask this question of how do we open a study house at Shir Tikva that invites our ancestors in, that reminds each of us we have everything to learn to make it through and to be able to learn and together. So Jim, thank you for letting me vamp for a moment.
Hello, I'm Jim Norden, long-term member, actually one of the founding members. Thank you all for being here tonight. It is a joy to be together as we raise our voices in song in words that many of us don't understand. At the end of the service, please return the prayer books to the usher table. Please separate the song sheets from the Sidurim. Mazel Tov to Emma Nicosia and Graham Early on the birth of their son, Ezra. Yes. Thank you all. Thank you to all who made this night possible. Rabbis Ariel and Joey, Samuel Porter, Kestrel Feiner Homer, Riv Shapiro, Sophie Guterl, Gordon Eric, Michon Minion, Julie Jacobs, and Lori Sweet. Thank you to our usher and also to security for your steady presence. And thank you to the Caring Committee for hosting the Oneg tonight in honor of Emma Nicosia and Graham Early's new baby, Ezra Stokes, Nicosia Early. A lot of name for a little boy. Come talk with the Care Community volunteers during the Oneg and sign up to volunteer in honor of baby Ezra. I would just comment that the Caring Committee is large and infiltrated into every segment of our lives. So if you need help, contact the rabbis and the Caring Committee will move into action. Announcements. Find all our Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news and on our website. Programmatic updates. We offer childcare on the first Shabbat each month for kids between the ages of 2 and 10 from 6 to 9 p.m. is free of required cost with a suggested donation of $36 per session. Please check our website for more information to register. We have new adult classes on prayer, Israel-Palestine, prayer.
Adult ed. I wrote it. Adult classes sounds a little. My bad, Jim.
Prayer leadership and Jewish practice launching over the next weeks. Amongst our new offerings are practice circles. Practice circles are a monthly space for folks to come together, explore, and deepen their Jewish practice related to Shabbat, holidays, prayer, food, and more, beginning Wednesday, December 8th. I'm sure the information is on the website. Please join us this Sunday for old-timers like me, founders, early members, and Vatican gathering this Sunday at 4 p.m. in the library. Who's an old-timer? Anyone who considers themselves one. Yeah. Yes. And lastly, please join us for Coping with Celebrations and Holidays When in Grief on Sunday, December 15th at 2 p.m. in the library and on Zoom with Rabbi Sharon Stiefel and Ruth Markowitz. Next week's Shabbat service will be a mask-required service. If this isn't the best fit for you, please join us on Zoom. I guess I'm repeating myself here. A reminder that your community is here to support you, so please reach out to our rabbis if you encounter a life change so they can activate the Shir Tikva network of support. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Koach. And just one, if you're interested in continuing to daven with us tomorrow at 10:30, we have Shabbat morning davening. It's going to be beautiful and musical. Hope to see you here, right here. We'll close in song. Ya Elai, ya Shabbat Shalom. Rachel is keeping us honest. We're blessing. We're blessing. I was like, we settled on a beautiful harmony. We did it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון. Good Shabbos. יאללה.